Look at all these rumors surrounding me every day. I just need some time to get away from all these rumors. I can't take it no more. My best friend is...
All right, this week's Rumor Mill, first we're going to do some housekeeping. We got a call this weekend from County Commissioner Nora Patterson. About a month ago, we reported that we had heard from numerous sources around town that she was not going to run for re-election. And those people stand by what they said, but she called us to let us know that she has not officially decided what she's going to do, and she has not ruled out the possibility of running for re-election in 2010. So we wanted to report that on our show, that she has not made up her mind, although the people that continue to feed us information about the county commission tell us that they don't believe she's going to run. Now, there's been a lot of misinformation out there about the whole Mel Martinez, people running for Senate, who's going to run for Vern's seat, all of that. The Herald Tribune has pretty much thrown out every single elected official's name in the newspaper who could possibly be running, and we want to dispel a lot of the myths. First of all, Marco Rubio is going to run. Marco Rubio, former Speaker of the House, he's from Miami, but he will not win. He has very little money. He's burnt a lot of bridges when he was Speaker, and he's only a name in South Florida. So he's not a serious contender, although he is going to run. Now, the other names that are being thrown around is Attorney General Bill McCollum and Congressman Connie Mack IV. The thing about them is one of them is going to run, but not both. They are friends. They share the same political advisor. They will not both run. Who will run? We expect Connie Mack to run, Connie Mack IV to run, give up his congressional seat, and we expect McCollum to get behind Mack. So where does that leave our Congressman, Vern Buchanan? He's the third guy. I can tell you his camp is locked up like Fort Knox. We can't get anything out of him about whether he's going to run or not. The only thing we did say is that he really hasn't made up his mind and that don't expect a decision anytime soon. Now, the other name that's been thrown out in the media has been Nancy Dietert. We do not see any way that Nancy Dietert would run for Congress for Vern's seat, even if he vacated it. You're going to have two very strong candidates. Bill Galvano is definitely going to run. He is going to receive Vern's backing, and so is Senator Mike Bennett. There's just no way that Nancy Dietert is going to be in perpetual campaign mode for the last 6 years and jump into another congressional race. She's happy where she's at. We need her in the state Senate. She is great, and we need her there. And so we don't anticipate she is going to run. Now, Pat Neal is then going to run for state Senate for the seat vacated by Senator Mike Bennett. And we think Senator Mike Bennett is going to be hurt if he does run for Congress by the fact that he backed some rhinos, some Republicans in name only in the last election, and he also even backed some Democrats against good Republican candidates. We expect that to hurt him in the Republican primary. We like Galvano. The dark horse to watch that nobody's talking about is Shannon Staub, the county commissioner down in South County. Keep your eye on her. She would be a formidable candidate if she ran. And finally, in our conversation with Nora Patterson, we learned her name's been thrown around in the newspaper too. She absolutely is not going to run for Congress. She does not want to go to Washington. So that's our Rumor Mill segment. Now to our guest, Walt Augustinowicz. Walt, thanks for appearing on the show.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Well, why don't you tell the viewers a little bit about your background, what you do for a living?
Well, I founded a company that specializes in personal security and privacy. Basically, we make devices that'll shield RFID chips that are concealed in like your credit cards and passports and things like that, so that you could put your items in our shields and people can't just read the data on them surreptitiously walking near you, that kind of thing.
Oh, okay. Well, that's interesting. How long have you lived in this area, in Sarasota County?
I've actually lived in Sarasota County since, I guess about 2000, so about 9 years or so. And before that, I was just over the border still in Englewood in Charlotte County since around 1990.
So you've been in this area since about 1990, about 18 years?
Yeah, and I actually graduated from Venice High School. I went there for a year and graduated in '86.
Okay,
yeah.
All right. Now, we wouldn't have you on your show if you weren't involved in politics in some way. What involvement have you had in the past with politics?
Well, I've done a lot of specialized things. I worked a lot with the Castle Coalition against eminent domain abuse. I don't know if you remember the whole thing with Murdoch Village down in Charlotte County, and I did a lot of work fighting that, where basically the government was taking people's lands and then turning it over to private corporations, that kind of thing. I worked with Downsize DC, been to up to Washington. basically courting our representatives and stuff, trying to get things passed that would reduce the size of our federal government. I've also worked with Freedom Works, which is Leader Army's group, used to be called Citizens for Sound Economy, that kind of thing. So, been a lot of specialized groups like that.
Okay. Have you ever run for office yourself?
I actually did. I ran for state representative, District 71, back, I guess about 4 or 6 years ago. I ran against Mike Grant.
Okay. Yeah. Down in Charlotte County.
Down in Charlotte County.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That didn't go well.
Well,
Mike Grant's a good candidate.
Yeah, obviously I went in there hoping to win, but mostly a lot of what I was doing there was going in, getting some notice to what was happening to the people in Murdoch Village, because that was a core plank, and what I was doing was trying to help them before it was too late and their land was taken by the government to build that whole Murdoch Village that never actually happened.
Okay. You're a Republican?
Yes.
Who did you support as far as in the presidential primary in 2008? What candidate did you get?
In 2008, actually, Ron Paul.
Okay.
Yes.
I was a Rudy Giuliani guy, so we both came up pretty short there. Yeah,
I was. It was disappointing because I think what happened is we actually ended up with a candidate that the mainly the liberal media chose for us. If you went down the line, he was probably the last candidate most conservative Republicans would have picked.
He had support among veterans. That was his base that I could. But you're right. He's always somebody that conservatives didn't really trust.
We actually spent the summer traveling the country in our camper with our kids this summer, and we traveled the whole United States, and everywhere we went, it was amazing because there was Ron Paul signs everywhere. The whole summer, I never saw another sign until I saw a McCain sign right at the very end. I saw one McCain sign, saw several Obama signs out there, and a couple Clinton signs. But there was billboards from one end of the country to the other out in California. Every farm you went by, there was giant billboards. And I think what happened is we actually, for the Republican Party to win, we need to have the party's candidate be the one the grassroots is supporting. And I think we really missed the ball on this one because, the people, in political power and stuff all promoted some different candidates, and the one that consistently got the support of the grassroots was Ron Paul. Even the person I ran against for chair of the Republican Party there a couple of weeks ago, Tom Gruters, told me that he had a Ron Paul bumper sticker on his car as well.
Okay.
There was a lot of people that were for him, and we think he would have done a great job.
All right, we have to take a break. When we come back, we're going to have more with Walt Augustinowicz.